Helen here from Survivor 44, coming at you live from San Francisco all the way to Costa Rica. I'm about to go to bed, but that is so cool to hear there are fans of Survivor from Costa Rica and outside of the U.S., especially because there's just like so many Survivor franchises. Like Australia is really good if you've never seen that one. And I know other countries have their own too, but I really appreciate you tuning in, especially if it's now harder if the channel stops broadcasting. So I don't know, hopefully you and your grandma can find like somehow a way to watch Survivor online or something like that recently. But yeah, I love to hear from folks that are outside of the US. My own grandma is like, my grandparents are all in China and they don't know anything about what Survivor is and like have never watched it, never heard of it, anything like that. So when I went on the show, I had to explain to them like how it worked, what the premise was, and they were like, are you gonna die? Like, is it dangerous? So it sounds like your grandma knows a little bit more about Survivor than mine do. And I hope you guys are watching together, enjoying the new era, enjoying all the big characters and the twists and turns and stuff like that. So I love to hear from folks outside of the US. Okay, you have some questions for me that I can answer. Let's see. Do you know about ASD? Yes, I do. I feel like I've heard a lot more awareness and like talk about autism just like in the last even like 10 years or so. Like, you know, a lot of people talking about like how it's a spectrum and it can be different for everyone and it manifests in different ways. So yeah, I've definitely heard about it. I'd always love to learn more, of course. But I feel like there's more representation than there ever was. Me and my little brother, he's like 5 years younger than me, when we were growing up, we both played piano like pretty competitively, and we would do, or at least he would do a lot of these like autism benefit concerts where they would be raising money and raising awareness just for autism and kind of teaching people what it was and things like that. So I always love to learn more. I feel like there's been more representation on like reality TV, even like I don't know if you watch Big Brother at all. I actually don't, but I met Kyland from Big Brother, and he's also on The Challenge, and I know is pretty vocal about autism. So always want to learn more, but I do know a little bit. Do you speak Spanish? Hablo un poco español. Estudié español en la escuela desde séptimo grado hasta fui a la universidad. So I speak a little bit. My accent's not great. I'm out of practice because I haven't spoken in a long time. But I actually, when I went to get my master's a few years ago, a lot of my friends were from Spain. So I have a lot of friends that speak Spanish very fluently. And now I'm like a little bit embarrassed because I'm like, my Spanish isn't perfect, pero hablo un poco. So I don't know. I'm scared to speak it around them. But like I have friends from Argentina, from Spain, like I said, from Colombia, and then like on our season, Jam Jam and Heidi both spoke Spanish. I went down to Mexico City for like Jam Jam had like a belated wedding thing with his husband because they got married during COVID and we were down in Mexico City. And I remember very specifically, we were at this like art festival thing, and I found this painting that I really wanted, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know how to negotiate in Spanish, I don't know how to do this. So Jam to the rescue, like negotiated me a great price. I have it like in my living room ready to be hung up. We still haven't hung it up. But yeah, I speak Chinese. I wish I spoke Spanish better. I think I need to just like go to Mexico or go to maybe Costa Rica and just like live there for a long time, and then my Spanish will be what it once was, and hopefully even better, because right now it's a little rusty. Did you ever visit CRC? I have visited Costa Rica. I went back in, I think it was 2015. I was a senior in college, and a lot of the trips that people were going on to celebrate like their senior year, their final year of graduating, was like party destinations and things like that. But me and my friends wanted to like do something a little bit more cultural as well as party, obviously. So we went to Costa Rica together. It was like 6 or 7 girls. And we went there for, I think like a week or so. We stayed around the Gulf of Papagayo. So we did like we did so, it was such a beautiful place. I really, really want to go back. Like the rainforest, the beaches, everything is so gorgeous. And we went to do like, I think a chocolate or a coffee tour. We also did zip lining, of course, which is like what every tourist does when they come to Costa Rica. And then just spent a lot of time like in the beach and like exploring. We did ATVs through the mud. And we also just like got to see a bunch of monkeys and like things like that. So I loved it. I wish I want to go back someday. So if you have recommendations, please send them to my Instagram so I can hit them up and see Costa Rica in a new way. It's such a big country and we really only got to see like that little bit of like Papagayo area. So yeah, recommendations, send them my way. And what is my best advice overall? That's a great question. So you're 27, I'm 30, so we're around the same age. I think maybe this is not advice, like I am not the person that came up with this, but something that I like to keep in mind always is almost this like idea of like, how do you minimize the amount of like regret that you would have in your life? So I don't know if that like resonates with you. For me, that's something that I've always kept in mind when I think about decisions that I make and like, do I do this or do I not do this? And oftentimes like there's things that can be scary to do, like going on an island. Like what if you get booted first out of your tribe like this girl did? It's so embarrassing and it's such a risk. And, you know, a lot of things can go wrong when you do something that's riskier and you kind of put yourself out there. But every time I think about a decision like that, I kind of think to myself, like, would I regret not doing this? Or, you know, what should I do to minimize the amount of regret that I have in like 5 years, 10 years, when I'm 80 years old? And then that generally guides like what decision I make. So when I thought about going on Survivor, I was like, absolutely, I have to do it. Like I would regret it so much if I didn't. If I think about like a cool new job opportunity, I think about like, oh, would I regret it? Or would I regret leaving the current company I'm at? Or would I regret not taking this new opportunity? So that's just like one thing that I guess I think about when I have a hard time like making a decision or thinking about something like that, is like, what would I do to minimize the amount of regret when I'm like 100 years old and thinking back on my life? Awesome. Well, Ale, you are a gem. Thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting Survivor, for watching with your abuela. I appreciate you so much. I'm sending you so much love, and I hope that we can maybe bump into each other the next time I come and visit Costa Rica. Bye. Mwah.